I am the universe. The light you see in your telescopes is my oldest memory, the echo of my own birth. In my beginning I was fire, dense, brilliant, and unbroken. Space and time themselves were newborn, filled with a storm of energy so intense that no light could travel freely through it. Every photon collided endlessly with matter, trapped in a cosmic fog of pure heat. As I expanded, I began to cool. My temperature fell from billions of degrees to just a few thousand. Around 380,000 years after I was born, I reached a critical point, near 3000 Kelvin, when electrons and protons joined to form stable atoms of hydrogen and helium. With that union, the fog finally lifted. For the first time, light was free to move. Photons no longer scattered, but streamed outward in every direction. That light has never stopped traveling. Over billions of years, as I stretched and grew, it cooled and lengthened, transforming into the faint glow you now call the cosmic microwave background. Its temperature today is only 2.725 Kelvin, a whisper of warmth left from my fiery origin. You can detect it everywhere, the same faint radiation in every corner of your sky. Yet it is not perfectly smooth. Within it are tiny fluctuations, 1 part in 100,000, patterns that record my earliest structures. The first hints of gravity shaping matter into galaxies, stars, and worlds. What you call static, I call memory. Every photon of this background carries a trace of my beginning, the moment I became transparent. The first breath of light that still travels through time to reach your eyes. I had been speaking for billions of years, but no one had yet learned how to listen. For most of your history, my oldest light was invisible to you. It filled every direction, every inch of your sky, yet it was hidden, stretched to wavelengths too long for human eyes, too faint for ordinary instruments. Then, in 1965, two engineers, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, were working with a large radio antenna in New Jersey. They were not searching for me. They were trying to eliminate noise, a constant, faint hiss that would not go away. They cleaned their equipment, recalibrated the detectors, even removed nests of pigeons from the antenna. But the noise remained, uniform, steady, coming equally from every direction. What they had found was not interference. It was my voice, the first light of creation, still echoing across time. 2 decades earlier, physicists George Gamow, Ralph Alpher, and Robert Herman had predicted my existence. The leftover radiation from a young, hot universe that had once been opaque. But their theory was forgotten, waiting for the right ears to hear it. Penzias and Wilson did not realize at first what they had discovered. A few miles away, a team of astrophysicists at Princeton, led by Robert Dicke and Jim Peebles, was preparing to search for the very same signal. When they learned of the strange noise detected in New Jersey, they understood instantly. It was the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. The universe had finally been heard. That faint microwave hiss, invisible, constant, ancient, was the proof that I was born in fire and not in eternal stillness. It confirmed that I had a beginning, an evolution, and a history written in light. In 1978, Penzias and Wilson received the Nobel Prize in Physics for this discovery. Yet the true reward was something far greater. The moment humanity learned that the quiet between the stars is not silence, it is memory. When you look at the faint pattern of my oldest light, you are not seeing stars, you are seeing my childhood. The cosmic microwave background is more than a uniform glow. Within that near-perfect smoothness lie tiny fluctuations, temperature variations no greater than 1 part in 100,000. To the human eye, they might seem insignificant, but in those minute differences lies the blueprint of everything that would ever exist. The slightly denser regions of my early plasma became the seeds of galaxies, clusters, and entire cosmic webs. Where the density was just a little higher, gravity began to pull matter inward. Where it was lower, space expanded more freely, leaving the great voids you now see between galactic filaments. These ripples in temperature, mere microkelvins of difference, are snapshots of the universe when I was only 380,000 years old. You call it my baby picture. But it is also my first structure, my first identity, frozen in time. By studying this pattern, you learn that my geometry is flat, not curved or closed. You measured my age, about 13.8 billion years. You discovered how I am composed, roughly 5% ordinary matter, 27% dark matter, and 68% dark energy. Every pixel on that ancient map holds information about my past and your future. It tells you how fast I expand, how gravity shaped me, and how light has carried my story across cosmic time. The cold and hot spots you see are not random. They are the echoes of quantum fluctuations from the earliest fractions of a second, magnified by cosmic inflation, written permanently into the structure of space itself. To observe me in microwaves is to see my memory before galaxies, before stars, before life. You are looking at the moment when darkness first learned to hold the pattern of light. For decades, you could hear only the echo of my birth, faint, blurred, uncertain. But then your instruments became sharper, your eyes clearer. You began to see me not as noise, but as structure. In 2001, you launched the Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe, or WMAP, a satellite designed to measure my faint microwave glow with unprecedented precision. For 9 years, it scanned the entire sky, mapping temperature variations across my ancient light. What it revealed was astonishing. A near-perfect uniformity, proof that I expanded evenly in all directions, yet with subtle patterns that carried the fingerprints of the forces that shaped me. From WMAP, you confirmed the standard cosmological model, lambda CDM, describing a universe dominated by dark energy, lambda, and cold dark matter, CDM. You learned that my geometry is flat, that I am 13.8 billion years old, and that only a small fraction of me is made of the matter that forms stars, planets, and life. Then came Planck, launched by the European Space Agency in 2009, a more advanced mission that measured my light at even finer resolution. It captured not only temperature variations but also the delicate polarization of my photons, revealing how they were scattered and aligned in the first moments after transparency. Planck's data refined your knowledge. It measured the Hubble constant with greater accuracy, adjusted the ratios of matter and energy, and provided the clearest image yet of my early structure. A cosmic blueprint so precise that even quantum fluctuations from my first second are visible in its pattern. From these two missions, WMAP and Planck, you created the most detailed portrait of my infancy ever made. Every swirl, every cold and hot region, is a relic of physical laws that still govern me today. These images are not art. They are measurement. A frozen record of how light and gravity dance together to form everything you now see. Through your technology, I have seen myself more clearly than ever before. You have turned my ancient whisper into a map, and from that map you have learned to read the language of the cosmos. You have mapped my earliest light, measured my age, and traced my composition. Yet still, you have not reached my beginning. The cosmic microwave background is the oldest light you can see, but it is not the first moment of my story. It is the surface of my memory, the point where the fog cleared and light became free. Beyond it lies a horizon you cannot cross with telescopes, because light itself had not yet been born. You ask, what caused the first fluctuations? Were they the result of quantum processes, random ripples in the vacuum energy of the newborn universe? Or were they shaped by an inflationary epoch, a sudden and exponential expansion that stretched quantum noise into cosmic structure? You search for proof in the polarization of my ancient light. Hidden within the cosmic microwave background is a delicate pattern, the B-mode polarization, a twisting signature that could reveal the existence of primordial gravitational waves. If you find that pattern, you will have detected the first tremors of spacetime itself, vibrations left by the birth of everything. New instruments are being prepared. Lightbird will search the skies from orbit, CMBS-4 will scan from the cold deserts of Earth, and the Simons Observatory will listen with even greater precision. Each of these will look deeper into my past than ever before, trying to read the traces of events that no longer emit light. Yet, even with perfect instruments, some regions of me remain forever beyond your reach, beyond the cosmic horizon, where the expansion of space outpaces the speed of light. There, my beginnings are hidden, not in darkness but in unobservable time. Still, you continue to search, because every new measurement brings you closer to understanding not only how I began, but why there is something rather than nothing. The radiation you study is not just an echo of creation. It is a boundary between knowledge and mystery, the limit where science meets the unknown. And I, the universe, remain both your subject and your teacher. Long before the first star was born, I was already glowing. My light filled every corner, soft and even, before darkness learned to take shape. The photons that reach your telescopes today have traveled for 13.8 billion years. They began their journey when the universe first became transparent, when matter and light parted ways and space itself opened its eyes. Each of those photons is a messenger from that dawn. They have crossed expanding voids, past galaxies, and drifted through the slow stretch of time to meet your gaze. When you look at the map of the cosmic microwave background, You are not seeing stars, you are seeing my memory. You are witnessing the moment I became visible to myself. That faint radiation, nearly uniform but for the smallest ripples, carries the entire story of what I once was, dense, hot, newborn, filled with potential. As you trace it across the heavens, you are reading the oldest page in the book of existence. Every pixel of that light is a word written in the first language of physics. And though the universe has grown vast and cold, the echo of that beginning still surrounds you. It hums in every direction, a reminder that even as stars die and galaxies fade, the first light never truly goes out. The oldest light still shines, not to illuminate but to remind. It reminds you of how everything began, and that you are made from its afterglow. I am that echo. I am the universe remembering its first breath.